anybody who hasn't seen this before, this is a hybrid Dragonknight. A hybrid magic Dragonknight. You know what? It's a hybrid DK. We don't need to be you know, bound by all the normal things that society tells us we need to do just to be a Dragonknight. You know what I'm saying? I don't play by your rules. This boy chased me around. You're not healing him. He's not going to be able to save you. Just throw that out there. You forgot your pet a long time ago, my man. So, anybody who wants to see what a hybrid Dragonknight can get down on, I don't know what to say other than... Hello everyone, and welcome to my hybrid Dragonknight build for the Flames of Ambition patch. So for this setup, I am a Dark Elf, and we are going to be running a Destruction Staff on our back bar and a two-hander on the front bar. For the gear, we have got 2 Light Bloodspawn, we've got 5 Heavy Eternal Vigor, we are running 3 well-fitted pieces with Impen, 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 and Reinforced. So we've got 3 Impen, 3 well-fitted, 1 Reinforced. The Reinforced is on the chest piece, and we've got Tri-Stat Glyphs on all of the armor pieces. For the jewelry and weapons, we are running Willpower, but only on the front bar. So I've got an Arcane Willpower necklace with a spell damage enchant. We're using Malakaz Band of Brutality with a Tri-Stat Cost Reduction Glyph on it, which is Bloodthirsty. And we're going to have 1 trainee piece, and mine is Arcane with a Magica Recovery Glyph on it. On the front bar, we're going to be using a Maul of Willpower, sharpened with a Shock enchant on it. Plenty of damage, lots of penetration, good to go. Vatashran Perfected Ice Staff. Love it or hate it, it's good. Ellie Drain is also just very, very useful for this build for sustain. When we get into the champion points, that's where things get a little different. The green ones don't really matter too much. I've got Liquid Efficiency and the Steed's Blessing that increases my movement speed outside of combat. These are pretty much the only ones that I think really apply in any way to Cyrodiil use or PvP usage at all. The 10% chance to not actually consume a potion is kind of useful. But other than that, the green tree isn't super important here. For the blue tree, I do have points to allocate. We'll do that. We are running Reaving Blows, so we have some extra healing coming from our direct damage done. We are running Untamed Aggression, that increases our weapon and spell damage by 150. We've got Resilience, which is increasing our critical resistance. And we've got Deadly Aim, that increases the damage done with our single target effects by 10% total. Other than that, fill out points into Hardy, fill out Elemental Aegis. There's Resilient here. We've only got 10 points into Quick Recovery. And, you know, minimum points here. A little bit into the Max Magic. And I just dropped these points into Blessed for some extra healing. Not super important, but you can always play around with the things that are not your slottables as you see fit. Moving on to the red CP. We've got Juggernaut, which decreases the amount of damage that we take while we are under the effect of CC immunity. We've got Ironclad that increases our actual resistances. We've got Survival Instincts. While affected with a status effect, your core combat skills cost 5% less per stage. This goes for blocking, roll dodging, sprinting, and such. You can check into the advanced stats to see what exactly it covers. We've got Rejuvenation, which gives us 150 health, mag, and stamina recovery. On top of that, a little bit into reduce the cost of sprinting, a little bit of max health, a little bit of the elemental status reduction for the time, reducing the cost of break free, and we've got reducing the cost of block 20 stamina per stage that I put 40 into as well. Now, when it comes down to the skills and the way this all works out, we've actually got a fair amount of resource management and damage involved here. This is with continuous attack. Where is it? Do I not have continuous attack? Oh, okay. Right, I was killed on the first time trying this. So we do not have continuous attack right now. But with continuous attack, we would have about 2,000 stamina recovery. We've got 1,600 mag recovery and almost 1,400 mag recovery, 1,600 health recovery. And again, all these numbers would be increased if I did have continuous attack. I would be about 1,500 mag recovery, 2k stamina recovery, and about 1,800 health recovery. Our resources, as you can see, we've split up the attributes quite a bit here. This is the 14 in health is mainly for when I'm playing a no proc Cyrodiil to make it so I'm hovering just under 28k health, although in Imperial City and 5 heavy armor, we're up over the 31k mark. You can play around with this as you see fit. I have played it with all points into magic. I just felt like the extra points into stam really did affect the amount of healing and the strength of being able to roll dodge more, block more, use rally and vigor, as these are part of our kit. Weapon and spell damage also quite respectable numbers, given that last patch you would never have been able to just walk around with 4.3k spell damage and 3.8k weapon damage. Fully buffed with continuous attack, this is 5.5k spell damage and 5.1k weapon damage. Pretty impressive. It also is, again, it goes hand in hand with why I do think that running vigor and rally and execution are quite healthy for this build. We're pretty good on the resistances as well. Nothing too crazy. Could be considered low, but our survivability is quite good as we've got considerable amounts of healing here. Additionally, just going back through the skills as to a little explanation as to why we're doing what we're doing here. We've got volatile armor. Pretty standard defensive buff. We are running green dragon blood. Part of the reason for this, there's several reasons, but it gives us an opportunity to keep our stamina recovery up 30% on a regular basis. Health recovery also, we get 30% more health recovery for the duration, as well as 8% healing received. This is a buff that you keep up all the time. This is up all the time. Volatile armor's up all the time. You really want to keep molten armaments up all the time. This isn't a heal per se. It's a buff that you keep up because it literally means your survivability and sustain in order for keeping it up. When you get yourself into a situation where you might be roll dodging a fair amount and your health is going low, you can use this as an oh my god, things are about to hit the fan kind of heal, and it actually does work out quite well. But I don't rely on it as a main heal by any means. We are running vigor as a heal. That tooltip is nothing super impressive. Again, when you've actually got your buffs up and we are running continuous attack, this heal gets to about 16k. It's not bad at all. It's a good way to use some stamina, and it's a good way to just kind of get on your back bar and get some heals ticking as well. We are obviously running Elemental Drain as we are running the Vatashran staff. I do have a no proc setup that I'll be putting out as well, where we are still using Elemental Drain without the Vatashran staff. So this is just a great ability. It applies Magicka Steel, which also supplements our seemingly low mag recovery, being that this actually grants us about 336 mag recovery. So if we go over to the recovery here, I've got 1300, but with Magicka Steel ticking as well, we're closer to 1800. And we've got Molten Armaments. This is going to give us Major Brutality. It's going to give us Major Sorcery. It's going to give us Minor Brutality because of the passive that's within the Earth and Heart tree. When you cast an Earth and Heart ability, you and your group gain Minor Brutality for 20 seconds, increasing your weapon damage. If you're in combat, you also generate 3 Ultimate. That's fantastic. Ultimate is great. Dragon Knights love Ultimate. So this gives us an opportunity to really bring up our weapon damage as well. So we get Major Brutality, Minor Brutality, and Major Sorcery from using this ability, and you restore some stamina because of the Helping Hands passive when you use it. There's 990 stamina. as well as the ultimate regen. So this is just a very stacked skill for us. And again, this is another one that stays up all the time. Your damage really does rely upon it. And Temporal Guard. Temporal Guard, best in slot, back bar ability. If you're not running a sword and shield, and even if you are running a sword and shield, I still feel like this is going to equal your survival more often than using a sword and shield ultimate. Although when you do use this on a Dragonknight, you do not benefit from Battle Roar. It will take you back to your resources what they were before, but as far as I can tell, it's not giving you extra resources based on the cost of the ultimate. So we don't cast this, we use it for minor protection. And the little tiny shield that you get from the Sigil Order passives as well. Moving on to the front bar, we've got Burning Embers, another heal. We've got Shattering Rocks, which is your main CC. This also got changed, so now it heals you when the player breaks free, or the NPC, whatever it really is. It'll heal you when they break free from it, and it will also deal damage to you to the player, sorry, when they break free from it. I've actually had this show up as, so-and-so player died to Shattering Rocks, and all they did was break free. It's phenomenal. It's good for a laugh. Something I skipped with Burning Embers is that you do want to keep this up early and often. This will also buff Molten Whip. We are running Molten Whip, not the Power Lash morph. This goes up in damage based on using other Ardent Flame abilities, and we happen to have Burning Embers, which is pretty cheap. It heals us. This is also some sustain. When you apply this ability, it applies the burning status effect, and in applying the burning status effect, you restore extra magic from the combustion passive. So you get 500 magic every time you hit somebody with Burning Embers. That's good. Shattering Rocks, again, this is a heal. This is a heal. We've got Rally, another wonderful heal. This isn't just a heal. This is going to be 15% stamina recovery, as well as letting the heal run out if you so feel to, because this is just going to equal another big fat heal. This you don't necessarily need to keep up all the time, but it is 15% stamina recovery. Nothing to laugh at. We've got Executioner. Yes, this is a build that is running Whip and Burning Embers and Executioner. It's wonderful. Don't let it go unnoticed. When you are a Magic Dragonknight and you get someone below 50% health, and all you can do is just keep whipping away on them, this gives you an opportunity to not only stop wasting all of your magic, or stop, just emptying your magic pool trying to whip this person to death. Now once they're below 50% health, you can just start cracking them over the head with Executioner weaving. And your magic pool is going to come back. You've got extra stamina. You've got plenty of stamina. And if not, you could throw a heavy attack in there, because your heavy attacks also hit for 50% more damage. So when you're heavy attacking into Executioners, because there's also a two-handed passive, that when you land a fully charged heavy attack, your next direct damage attack used within 7 seconds deals an additional 10% damage. So you can go heavy attacking into Executioner. This is also going to restore some stamina. It's going to crack them over the head and hit them really hard. You're already hitting them with execute damage, but you can also heavy attack straight into the Executioner and take advantage of that. You can heavy attack into Molten Whips as well. You could use Burning Embers to buff up your damage, because as you use Ardent Flame abilities, you add another 75 weapon and spell damage that lasts for 5 seconds. So as long as you keep Burning Embers on your target, you can keep executing them and save yourself some whips. Because you don't really need to be spending the whips. You're executing now. We're not emptying our mag pool. We are dropping some stam on them. We're also using Ferocious Leap. Just a fantastic ultimate. If you are a Dragonknight and you're not using some form of leap, there's plenty of classes to play. Don't play a Dragonknight. Why would you do that to yourself? You have the ability to fly. If you don't think that spreading your wings and flying across the battlefield into a whole bunch of people is a good time, then I don't know what ESO is to you. But Dragon Leap. I haven't necessarily tested out the difference between running Ferocious Leap versus running Take Flight, but it works wonderfully. That's all I can say. It works wonderfully. And the shield that you gain from landing the leap is also quite helpful. The only thing we really lack on this build is snare removal, but again, we've got plenty of healing. We've got Vigor. We've got Dragon Blood. We've got Rally. Shattering Rocks heals. Burning Embers heals. See where we're going here. We got plenty of damage. This is about being able to outlast and pressure your enemy into thinking that they've got you, when really, you've got all the stamina in the world. This is the mag build. You could say it's a mag build that's just not really going to run out of stamina unless you're roll dodging too much or you're in an outnumbered situation in which there's not really too much you can do when you're getting, when you're trying to roll dodge damage and somebody streaks you and then you're trying to block damage. It can get a little hectic, but for the most part, I find that my survivability on this is quite good. The damage is also quite good. It covers a lot of bases. Again, I'm getting health and stamina recovery from green dragon blood and an 8% healing receive. We're getting mag recovery from using elemental drain. We are getting major sorcery, major brutality, and minor brutality, and some ult gen, and we're making use of the helping hands passive by using molten armaments. This may look like it's a really expensive skill, but since it only goes up every 30 seconds, you've got plenty of time to make use of this. And again, if you really didn't have the mag to recast this, there's nothing stopping you from getting by on the penetration you're going to get from Ellie Drain and the possibility of using Rally to maintain having your major brutality buff, as well as keeping your stamina recovery up. So we've got a lot of stamina recovery, there's a lot of damage, there's a lot of healing in here, and it feels very, very good to play a Magic Dragonknight that actually has an execute. There are some changes you can make to this. If you, let's say you did not have Malakath and you did not have a Vadashran staff, you could come over here and not run this, and then you could run maybe another trainee piece. You could run 2 trainee, in which case you would have more max magic. And then you could also run a willpower ice staff on the back bar, which would maintain having 3 willpower on both bars. As right now, when we're on our back bar, we've only got 1 willpower, and then when we're on the front bar, we've got 3. So a no mythic setup, I would probably go with 2 trainee and then running 3 willpower on both bars. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with this setup over the past couple of weeks in Imperial City. As I said, I'll have a no proc setup that I'll be putting out relatively soon. And yeah, I'm anxious to hear all of your thoughts. And if you enjoyed what you see here, come by and check out the stream. I live stream 6 days a week, and I'll put all the information that you need for that in the description below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.